Welcome to this beautiful city of Pristina. It's very nice to be back here and I'm very happy to spend this day here. It's my birthday and I'm very happy to be in this beautiful town. I will a little bit on the actual position of today's crisis, because the last days we had a really, I think since the end of July, a major crisis here in relation to the North and the issue of reciprocity. I covered all these issues in my podcast and I hope it was clear what I recommend. And it's really fantastic. Yeah, the atmosphere is very beautiful, the city is very lively and it's peace here. And that Serbia seems to be heading towards war on this very minor issue ultimately. And it's a minor issue, and I have also recommended not to impose it on 1st of September because ultimately it was now since the last 14 years not implemented, and despite honor and fairness and justice, which are all very important, it is ultimately not justified to have war for that issue of license plates on both sides. So I'm recommending the following deal, and I want to make it very clear that the international community gives Kosovo visa liberalization. So Mr. Kurti, the Prime Minister, can easily retract from his a little bit entrenched position on reciprocity, and we make a 5-year freeze on reciprocity. And the visa liberalization can be easily done already on the 2nd of October 2000 or whatever, beginning of October. But it's long overdue and it's much better than war. And it's fair, the Kosovo people want it. Mr. Kurti has then all the political legitimacy to withdraw from his position. Mr. Vucic has no reason for war, and he has outmaneuvered himself anyhow now as a warmongering Russophile. And that's his position now. He made it very clear this summer, and we have all the reason to isolate him further and in a package to end this unproductive farce of a dialogue, which here, unfortunately, everybody thinks it's very important and they want to continue it, and I call to end this dialogue. I never liked it very much. It was never something like a dialogue, because it was always a monologue of Kosovo talking for peace and Serbia talking for war. And so it is useless. And instead, because we always have to come with an alternative, I think it's also a moral obligation of a peace activist and of politicians. The alternative is the Bosnian-Kosovo dialogue. And this is what I will now promote. It's the so-called Bosnian. I don't like as well the idea of Sarajevo-Pristina dialogue, because it's two countries, and Bosnia and Kosovo to recognize each other, to join NATO together, and then we will have an effect on Serbia, because there will be very fast progress, and within 1 year of that new format we can have peace. And that's what I'm proposing. Joint NATO membership for both, of course, implementation of this process, and then joint NATO and EU accession of the two countries, Euroization of Bosnia, NATO membership of both, together with Austria, and that's my birthday wish, you will say. Yes, it's realistic, because we can basically isolate Serbia, because they have completely isolated themselves. And so I think that's the logical next step, and it's a much better strategy than what we have done since 2011 with a dialogue of the mute deaf. So it's time for the Bosnian-Kosovo dialogue towards peace, or peace process, and that's what I will propose these coming days. Thanks a lot for that, and more to come from Pristina. Bye.